The year is approximately 3800 BCE. The Mesopotamian plain stretches endlessly beneath a copper sky. Between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, mud brick walls rise from nothing. This is Eridu, the first city. Enkinom stands at the threshold of the temple ziggurat, clay tablets pressed against his chest. He is a priest scribe, keeper of the sacred knowledge. His fingers trace cuneiform marks still wet in the clay. Above him, the stepped pyramid climbs toward the heavens. Before we journey deeper into this ancient mystery, tell us in the comments what you think really happened here. Were the Sumerian gods visitors from the stars or something else entirely? Share your theories below. Enkinom climbs the ziggurat steps. Each level brings him closer to the chamber where the Anunnaki supposedly descended. That is what the oldest texts claim. Beings from the sky. Gods who walked among men and taught them everything. Writing, mathematics, astronomy, agriculture, kingship itself. The priest's sandals scrape against baked brick. Sweat runs down his spine despite the evening cool. He has read the king lists, rulers who reigned for thousands of years before the flood. Alulim of Eridu, 28,800 years. Impossible, unless the texts mean something else, unless time was measured differently, or unless the beings who ruled were not human at all. The entrance chamber yawns before him. Torchlight flickers across walls covered in star maps, constellations that should not exist. Enkinom has studied the night sky his entire life. He knows the wandering stars, the fixed points, the seasonal movements. But these carvings show planets the naked eye cannot see, distant worlds rendered in perfect detail. The seventh planet from the sun, the ring giant. How did the ancient ones know? The texts speak of Nibiru, the crossing planet, home of the Anunnaki, a world that passes through our sky every 3,600 years. When it comes, the gods return, a sound. Stone grinding against stone, Enkinom freezes. The inner sanctum is sealed, has been sealed for generations. Only the high priest may enter, and only during the sacred festivals. But the door is moving. Dust cascades from the lintel. The priest scribe presses himself against the wall. His heart hammers against his ribs. Blue light spills from the widening crack. Not firelight, not sunlight, something cold and electric. He smells ozone, burnt metal. His skin prickles as if lightning is about to strike. 3 figures emerge, tall, impossibly tall. Their heads brush the ceiling that towers 3 men high. They wear garments that shimmer like fish scales but move like water. Their eyes are too large, almond-shaped, reflecting the torchlight with an amber glow. Enkinom cannot move, cannot breathe. These are the Anunnaki. The text did not lie. One of them turns toward him. The priest falls to his knees. His tablets clatter to the floor. The being's face is beautiful and terrible. Human but not human. Skin like polished copper. Features too symmetrical, too perfect. You carry the old words. The being speaks. Its voice resonates not in the air, but inside Enkinom's skull. No accent, no language. Pure meaning flowing directly into his mind. You preserve what we taught your ancestors. Good. The knowledge must not die. The priest scribe tries to respond, but his throat is closed. The being raises a hand. Long fingers, 6 digits instead of 5. In its palm, a device pulses with that same blue light. Images flood Enkinom's consciousness. He sees the earth from above, as a bird would see it, but higher, impossibly high. The curvature of the world, the great ocean, continents he has never imagined. Then deeper into the past, a red planet dying, structures collapsing, beings fleeing in vessels that burn across the sky. They come to Earth, find primitive humans, begin the great work, the genetic manipulation, the hybrid creation. Homo sapiens as they exist now, uplifted from earlier forms through intentional intervention. The Anunnaki needed workers for the gold mines. Gold to save their dying atmosphere. So they took the primitive humans and mixed their own essence into the bloodline, created a slave species. But the slaves grew conscious, developed language, began to question. Some of the Anunnaki fell in love with the humans, married them, had children. The Nephilim, giants who walked the earth, heroes of old. Men of renown. The Council of Anu declared it an abomination, but it was too late. The bloodlines were mixed forever. Enkinom sees the Great Deluge, not a punishment from angry gods, but a calculated decision. The ice caps were melting. A global catastrophe was inevitable. Most of the Anunnaki abandoned Earth, returned to Nibiru, but a few remained. Enki, the merciful one, warned Ziusudra, told him to build the vessel, save the animals, preserve the knowledge. Let humanity survive. The flood came. The world drowned. But the seed of civilization endured, and when the waters receded, the surviving Anunnaki taught the remnant again. Founded Sumer, established the first cities, gave humanity a second chance. Now pause for a moment. What is your reaction to this vision of our origins? Does it align with what you have heard before, or does it challenge everything you thought you knew? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your perspective on this ancient enigma. The vision releases him. Enki-Nam gasps. His lungs burn. How long was he suspended in that flow of information? Seconds? Hours? The three beings stand motionless, watching, judging. Why? The priest manages to croak. Why show me this? The lead being tilts its head, because the cycle approaches completion. Nibiru returns in your sky within 3 generations. We will walk among you again. Some will worship us as gods. Others will fight us as demons. You must prepare your people. Record what you have seen. The truth must survive even if every city falls, even if every temple burns. Encode it in your myths. Hide it in your legends. Let future ages decode the message when they are ready. The being extends the device toward him. Enki-Nam's hand moves without conscious will. He grasps the object. It is warm, alive. Information pours into him. Mathematical sequences, astronomical calculations. The genetic code itself rendered in base 12 notation. Formulas for metallurgy and medicine. Star maps showing navigation routes between worlds. All of it compressing into symbolic form, into stories, into the mythology that will echo through millennia. Marduk battling Tiamat, Inanna descending to the underworld, Enlil bringing the flood. Not mere stories, but encoded data. Scientific knowledge wrapped in narrative. The ziggurat shudders. Stone groans. The beings turn toward the inner sanctum. Beyond the door, the blue light intensifies. A portal, a gateway between here and somewhere else. Remember, the voice echoes in Enki-Nam's mind. We made you in our image. You are both slave and child, servant and heir. When we return, you must choose. Kneel before us again or stand as equals. The choice will define your species forever. The 3 figures step through the light. The door grinds shut. The blue glow fades. Enki-Nam is alone in the torch-lit chamber with his scattered tablets and the warm device in his hand. He looks down. The object is changing, solidifying, becoming clay. Within seconds, it is indistinguishable from his other tablets. But the cuneiform marks on its surface are different. More complex, multi-layered. He can read the surface level, a hymn to Enki the water god. But beneath that text, he senses other meanings. Deeper codes. Information that will take generations to fully decode, if ever. The priest scribe gathers his tablets. Descends the ziggurat. The city of Eridu sleeps beneath the stars. Those ancient watching stars that the Anunnaki navigated by. He walks to the scribal house. Lights his lamp. Begins to write. He will record everything. Not as a scientific report. His people have no framework for that. But as myth. As legend. As the sacred stories of gods and heroes. Future generations will call them fantasies. Primitive superstitions. But hidden within the narratives will be the truth. Waiting. Encoded. Ready. For the day when humanity develops the tools. To see what has always been there. The Sumerian. Civilization will flourish for 2,000 years. Their cities will spread across Mesopotamia. Uruk, Lagash, Nippur. Their writing will evolve. Their mathematics will calculate the movements of planets with astonishing accuracy. Their kings will claim descent from the gods, because some of them will genuinely carry that hybrid bloodline. The genetic legacy of the Anunnaki, and then Sumer will fall, conquered by Akkadians, then Babylonians, then Persians. The cities will crumble. The temples will turn to dust. But the texts will survive, copied and recopied, translated and retranslated. The Epic of Gilgamesh, the Enuma Elish, the Atrahasis. Stories that seem like mythology but contain something more, something waiting to be rediscovered. We stand now in our own time. Archaeologists dig in Iraqi sand and find those ancient tablets. Linguists decode the cuneiform script. Astronomers are stunned by Sumerian astronomical knowledge. Geneticists map the human genome and find anomalies in our evolution. Sudden leaps, unexplained accelerations, as if something external intervened. The Sumerian king lists remain baffling. The precise astronomical knowledge remains unexplained. The sudden emergence of complex civilization from nowhere remains a mystery. Were the Anunnaki real? Were they aliens from a distant planet? Time travelers from our own future? Interdimensional beings? Or were they simply a metaphor for the mysterious process by which human consciousness awakened and civilization began. The truth is still encoded in those ancient tablets, still waiting in the ruins of Eridu and Ur, still hidden in the myths we dismiss as primitive fantasy. Perhaps we are not ready to decode the full message. Perhaps we lack the tools or the courage. Or perhaps the cycle is indeed approaching completion. Perhaps Nibiru is returning. Perhaps the gods are coming back. And perhaps we will finally have to make that choice Enki Nam saw in his vision. Kneel or stand, slave or equal. The choice that will define humanity forever. What do you think? Are we alone in the universe, or did we have help becoming who we are? Were the Sumerians recording visitations, or inventing stories to explain the inexplicable? Share your final thoughts in the comments below. We have read every theory, from ancient astronauts to Jungian archetypes, and we want to hear yours. If this journey through the mystery of our oldest civilization captivated you, hit that like button and subscribe to Endless Ages. We are just beginning to explore the epic forgotten stories of our ancient past. More mysteries await. More secrets will be revealed. The ages are endless, and so are the stories hidden within them. Join us as we uncover what has been buried for millennia.